It is time.
This song was a fan request from Jason Hann, the percussion player for the String Cheese incident. Yeah. He picked the song for you to listen to. So this is Karim ZIad, and Jason says that Karim ZIad is a drummer from Algeria. He also sings and plays the Moroccan Goumbri, which is a bass guitar style of instruments. Jason got turned on to him, seeing him with Joe Zawinul Syndicate, which is the Weather Report keyboardist, and one of the last lineups before he unfortunately passed away in 2007. He mixes North African traditional music with a jazz fusion sense, and this is some of the international music that I love. That's what Jason says. He says that Zawinul's solo music and Weather Report might be my most go-to to listen to get me hyped and inspired to write and practice. He said that the musicians that have gone through that band always bring ridiculous, original, and soulful vibes in addition to being incredible musicians. Have you ever listened to or heard of Karim ZIad before?
I have a little bit through Zawinul's solo records. I'm pretty sure he's been on them. And I was a big Weather Report fan, and I still am. And then actually this guy that I play with in L.A., Lofty Amau, he was offered the Weather Report gig, but he ended up staying with his own band, so it was pretty exciting.
I mean, that was a hard decision to make, but you know, staying with your own band, get to do your own things.
Yeah, but I mean, I can remember the bass player coming back. They had Weather Report had a studio in North Hollywood, and he came back with his eyes bugging out the bass player because he get to hang out with Jocko.
Right.
He's
How great would that be?
He said Jocko gave me his bass and said play something. I'm like, I can't play.
Oh my god! I'm like, just sign my arm. So this is This is Karim ZIad with the 2001 album Ifriqiya, and this song is called Amliya. Dang, out the gate. Oh my god, that bass player is just
cooking
everywhere. Yeah. He's everywhere.
That's really good.
Love the percussion.
Oh, that's a nice transition.
Good.
Like that little flute.
Hey, you can really see, like it's almost like a Weather Report thing. Or those guys got it from these guys, you know.
Yeah.
It was like Black Market or one of those records by Weather Report. So good.
So intense. Mike, what do you think about that?
So the one thing that I was thinking about was how unusual the song structure was, or lack thereof, at least from my American ears, right? Because I'm used to like intro, and then like they're doing a sing song, and then each musician, and then they go back into the sing song, and then they finish it out, right? Like normal song structure. In this, it's like out the gate, the bass player is just everywhere, and it's like it kind of just keeps going. It's like relentless, you know, this like groove that like sort of is just always going in a straight line up and up and up. And I really, really appreciate that because they're able to keep up like that high energy without it being so like monotonous or like I wasn't getting ear fatigue. I was really into it the whole time.
Yeah.
the hand clapping rhythm was really cool. I was trying to count that out, and also like you said, the bass player, the singers. It's just a really, really, really intense play, and I love the world music sound as well. I guess from Africa, very cool.
Very driving. It was very cool to. I could hear how organic some of the tones were for some of the presumably hand percussion or whatever instrumentation they're playing. Like you can hear the hits. You can kind of imagine the play style that's happening, and relentless driving. It's a flow. It's a state of mind.
It sounded like they just dropped a microphone into a room and just had at it. It felt like there's no way else to do that style of music unless like you're all organically like feeding off of each other at the same time. What do you think, Russ?
Yeah, and I think that it's amazing, and I think sometimes there's just their language of where it's so amazing in different parts of Africa, different styles. North Africa, and then like I play with a guy from West Africa from this band Odyssey from London. We had a band called Zebra, and his rhythms that he would bring in, the high life stuff, and the Afro beat, which became very popular, and it's cool to hear that. I love it. It's really good.
This is a great pick, Jason. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, Jason, that's a badass one, man. That's all that stuff. I'm gonna get this album.
I could totally see how it would inspire him to write and practice. Because it's inspiring me to do the same.
Yes. Right, me too. I did feel energized after listening to that because, again, it's like right out the gate. Because usually, like when music comes right out the gate like that, they kind of do this beginning thing and then they have like a downturn where, they kind of settle in and get into a groove. And this one, it's just like they just start at a 10 and then just keep going at a 10 and do an 11.
Okay, so I have a question. Do y'all listen to music to get into a state of mind, or do you listen to music to match your state of mind that you're already in?
Oh, I think to match, like, because when I go to the gym, for example, I listen to music that gets me ready to work out, right? I don't really listen to music before going to the gym to get me ready to work out, if that makes sense.
I'm the exact opposite. I listen to music to get me into a state of mind specifically for whatever I got in front of me, especially right before playing a show or something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I kind of do both as well.
Yeah.
What about you, Russ?
I do both. There's times that I'm in the mood for just that kind of music. That I'm hyped up, some whatever it may be, and then sometimes I'm just getting some music, and it just, it gets me inspired or whatever, and it lifts me up, something, that makes sense.
Definitely.
Every day's different, you know what I mean? Like listen to that kind of stuff. I listen to Fela Kuti a lot, and Femi, his sons, and you just getting that. It just you drop it in, and then bam, and it's really good.
All right.
There are other times you're hyped up and like, okay, like I sent to the other band, that song, The Moth, and it's just you're in that, the coffee's flowing, so.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
We have some feedback in the chat. Anna Caitlin says, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll either throw on some metal or some heavy shit to get it out, and I'll put on some hype jams to lift my spirits. Like I said, it's like to me, I do it, for what I'm doing, but that's why, it's so subjective and personal to everybody, which I think is so fascinating.
Absolutely.
We also have a first-time chat viewer, Corporal Elkron. Shouts out to you, Russ Lawton, Kale King of Vermont.
I see a T-shirt.
I do too.
Yeah,
it could be a big seller.
What's that?
I love anything with like a gang vocal or a choir.
Yeah.
I wonder what they're singing about.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that could be weather report right there. What you call it?
Oh, when they're doing like that double time where they just kind of abruptly speed it up like that.
Yeah, and they get what you call it? I can't think of his name right now, but Wayne Shorter. Yeah, man, that stuff would like give me chills when I used to listen to that stuff.
Ooh. I love that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ooh, the bass is getting into some like prog. It sounds like prog rock now.
All about the bass lines. Take a picture of that. See if I get that record.
Ooh, I like what they're doing right here. This kind of repeating thing.
Yeah, see right there? Wayne Shorter, man. Almost.
That's great. I could just imagine the dancing with that as well. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that would be incredible to see. Yeah,
Yep.
Natalie Rose in the chat said, first off, says, "Hi, Russ. Looking forward to seeing you and the Tab crew in November." And
All right.
she said that part reminds her of some Moroccan music that their family would play. And the song is always on beginning to end.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's that whole Morocco. Yeah, that's cool.
And I just can't get over like how the song structure was, because I felt like it was like one long song and then they did this kind of break and then it was like another song led by this like flute woodwind type of instrument, which I thought was so neat. And it's just fascinating the way that people from different cultures and different parts of the world like so fundamentally, like with the instruments and the notes and the way that the song is written and the time signatures, just how like different it all is. And it's not just so simple and formulaic like some people, make it out to be, because I feel like if you listen to the same type of music, you just kind of like get jaded because it all sounds the same, right? And it's, I think it's important to listen to music from other parts of the world just so you can gain a fresh new perspective on like what music like really can be.
It expands your mind. It opens you up to other cultures. You had mentioned earlier about that repeating vocal, like repeating that vocal over and over and over, and it kind of like created like this rhythmic tapestry that then like the flute and the other instruments could like really pop out like from the background. It was really cool.
And then I also noticed that when they were doing that, they put this effect on the vocals to kind of give it like a bunch of reverb, but almost in an electronic way, and then kind of put it in the back of the mix too to add it to that tapestry as well. I thought that was a great choice. Definitely. Well, that was really, really lovely. So you said that you're a fan of the Weather Report and you've seen them before?
I've just seen them in Soundcheck years ago when I was doing a show up in Vermont, when I was living in Vermont many years ago. But I never seen them live. I wish I did. I was a big fan of that band. I listened to those albums a lot every day when they came out. Black Market, Heavy Weather. I can't remember some.
So how did you hear about them?
Yeah, those guys were just... How did I hear about them? I was living in Boston, and some people that I played with were talking about it, and Jocko was just sort of coming on the scene. So they had albums before that, and I had bought an early Weather Report, and they didn't always sound like that. If you listen to the first two albums, they're a lot more subtler. And the story that I heard, they started playing with Sly Stone's drummer, and they noticed more people were coming to the gigs and they get a little more backbeat going. So I think if that's true or not, but it sort of makes sense. And that whole fusion thing was coming up, a little bit more of a backbeat instead of just a kind of a subtler jazz thing. And, and this is the songwriting. They're good. Like if all that fusion stuff, some of it's not held up. It's a lot more, just everything's just on 10, kind of a thing. Whereas that band, their songwriting and their playing and everything is just held up. Those out, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I got really into fusion when I was like 18 years old, so just practicing all the time and listening to Billy Cobham, who I think's a great drummer, but some of it's over the top. That's the word,
Right.
But those guys they weren't thinking about chops. They were thinking about composition and a feeling that went, unbelievable. The remark that you made, that song just gives me the chills from the Heavy Weather album or whatever.
Ooh.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that insight. Hi, this is Mike with Galaxy Jams Reacts. We hope that you enjoyed that React video. Be sure to check out the links below of when we're going to be live streaming our next show and also how to watch full episodes. Please hit that subscribe button. Every single one helps.